do a lot of commentaries on this YouTube channel, and I've had a lot of requests from you guys. I've been yelled at by my editor, Jimmy. In today's video, we're going to show you a MUT head-to-head matchup. Went in the MUT streets and matched up with Legend 804, who is a former competitive player. And I thought the game was pretty off meta and it was a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get into this chess match, full game, unedited. So as you can see right here, we are loading in just a regular MUT head-to-head seasons game. I always get the question, hey Zan, is this weekend league? Hey Zan, is this your playoffs? What is this? Easy way to tell, guys, is that if it is a nighttime game, it is weekend league, unless it's a nighttime game that has logos on the sideline showing that it's a playoff matchup. So that's how you can tell right away if somebody's playing weekend league or regular seasons. This was just a matchup that went down on a Tuesday afternoon, and Legend kind of plays a little bit differently. He's always kind of off meta, usually a compression based offense of some sort, does a little bit of audibling around. You know, I could do a lot of commentaries from some of my live streams. This was actually a game that was on my live stream, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. And one thing that I always try to look for if I'm going to do a commentary is for the game to kind of be off meta. You guys look around, you know, every single other channel that does videos, it's always bunch against bunch, or, you know, bunch versus trips tied in, 2-4-5 odd, 3-3-5 wide. And you know, there's a lot of that out there. And for me, it's more about teaching you about those metas and how to counter them. But when I come up with a good game, I always want to show you guys, you know, how the game went down. As you see right here, Legend starting on offense, he throws some blind stuff.
EA Sports
Goes to the corner route, and my pick artist, Calvin Johnson item, is unable to get the grab. Kind of a theme in this game, as you see right here. So as you can tell here, his offense is more of a bunch tight end offense, and he also audibles into the bunch Y flex. Now, the reason why that is so tough, as you see him hitting that quick wheel out of verticals, is because not only does this particular audible set flip the strength of the formation like a traditional bunch flip offense, but it also kind of widens out the bunch. So the type of defense that I need to play to counteract that is he's going to hit the tight end across the middle. The type of defense that I'm going to have to play against this is a little bit different in terms of the adjustments I make. And I think that that's what made this a really good candidate to kind of show you how to adjust, right? So he's going from this actually really compressed bunch set to audibling into more of a spread, but also bunched up look. Now right here, he goes to basically this is the Trey Y flex halfback strong, and he hits an inside zone for a touchdown. So it's kind of unfortunate. Obviously, he threw a book on that first play, but he also had some stuff that I needed to see. He threw that little quick wheel from the bunch Y flex. Again, that more spread out bunch look. He also threw a nice beater to the tight end. Those are two things that I have to start keying in on right off the bat. Now, I usually take a mindset when I play defense in Madden that I use that first drive as a sponge drive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, sponge, I'm basically just trying to learn as much about what my opponent does as possible. What does he do when he audibles from this formation to this formation? Well, we saw that when he went to the bunch Y flex, there were two primary reads he really liked on those plays. So those are things that I have to key in on. When he goes to the Trey Y flex, what do I have to respect? Okay, so far it's the inside zone. So as I'm kind of sponging up information, this is the information that I'm going to use against him later in the game, or it's the information that I try to use against all my opponents later on in the game. So as you guys see here, I'm starting off on offense. I am in my traditional offense, which is the LA Rams, home of the single back bunch X Nasty, at least until the Seattle live book gets it. And as you can see here on defense, Legend is starting off in a double A gap defense. And right off rip, I noticed, okay, this dude is bringing it. I mean, I'm not talking about just bringing it. He is bringing it. I'm talking sometimes 8 guys on, you know, a blitz look. This guy didn't want to play defense. He really didn't want to play defense. I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. Really what he was looking to do in this game, and I could tell right away, was he's trying to make me make a guessing mistake. He wants to blitz so many guys and hope that when I snap the ball, he picks the right guy to jump to and forces an interception. And honestly, I don't really blame players for playing that way in Madden. I think that if you are playing this game from a coverage standpoint, you probably are best off in match, which again is what I run. I'm a big time match player. I think that match is the best coverage based defense in the game. And if you can blitz from behind your, or in front of rather, your match coverage, you're going to play the best defense that you can. Otherwise, you better be bringing zone pressure and setting zone drops, which is what he's trying to do. Now, the problem with his approach right now, as you see, when he does this, he's blitzing heavily and he's not trapping the flats. He's trying to jump the flats himself. So I have these really simple checkdowns while he's blitzing everybody. And I'm just content to go left or right, because if he's not going to cover if he's not going to cover either flat with his user, then you're gonna have an easy pickings. It's left or right. So right now, just trying to kind of just keep it safe. A lot of times I'm mixing up the motion, quick snapping, again hitting the flat, trying to outstick him. That's one thing that I noticed early on in the game, is I feel like I had stronger stick work than he did. If you're going to be that aggressive, you got to make your one-on-one tackles. And I felt like that was an area that I could exploit against him fairly easily early on. As you saw right there, I threw the ball quick out in the flat to Plaxico Burris. Right here, I'm using Plaxico on a flat route to open up the wheel to the tight end as a quick pass option. See right here, I go to throw it and we're able to hit Pitts, get down inside the 10-yard line down to the 9 as we're hitting the end of the first quarter. If you guys are enjoying this free YouTube content, I would strongly urge you to go over to my strategy website. GridironGameplans.gg is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault Update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active, and access to our Discord server, where every single Wednesday, we have a live lab session covering the week's vault content and any questions you guys have about Madden. So make sure you guys head over to GridironGameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. Moving pretty quickly in this one, you've got him with the quick score. Again, learning a lot on defense, but I'm right on the cusp. Again, most important thing to think right here is I've got ball at half. So how am I going to manage the rest of the first half to ensure that I can have that opportunity to double dip the chip? And if you don't know what that means how do I get the last score of the first half and then have the ball coming out to be able to get back-to-back scores and really put the pressure on him. So you see right here, I go with the stretch call. I cut it inside, bad decision. We'll see if I make that read a little bit later on in the game. Just not good vision right there. Tried to hit that alleyway. Probably if I stay outside, I'm in for a touchdown, but second and goal nonetheless. Down here in the red zone, another thing that I oftentimes have been doing, especially lately, is I've been psyching myself out. As you guys know, I did a video yesterday as I throw a wide open corner. Again, we're talking about how aggressive he is. He switched up his flat zone depths here, but then left the end zone in the middle of the field open. So because I'd done so much flat work, it ended up giving the middle of the field wide open. So early on, he's just kind of guessing. I got that feel that he doesn't really have a beat on what I want to do, and he's pretty stubborn until I get down in the red zone. But one thing that I really want to learn out of this is how does he play defense in the red zone? And right there early on, you saw that he was blitzing heavily, and it got him burned. So now we're in a spot where we'll see if he's going to go ahead and kind of drop coverage down in the red zone later on, see if he changes things up. The other thing that's really psyching me out right now, like I said, is that run commit glitch. I just did the video yesterday on the run commit glitch and how to counter it. Unfortunately, the Rams book doesn't have very good RPOs in it. So that's really my weakest area of my game right now until this is patched. If it's going to be patched, is, punching it in inside the 5. So to be able to have a wide open dot like that in that spot, that's really, really good. So here we are back to work on defense, which is actually where I want to be. I love playing defense no matter the year of the game. I don't care how hard it is to get a stop. I find that I can find a way to get stops no matter the year. So we're starting off, again, he's in this bunch tight end. Kind of want to see what he's about. He made a bad read out of bunch tight end earlier, so he's been basing out of mostly the bunch Y flex. You see right here, I check into a different call and he hits that quick low ball wheel. Again, this is a lot tougher to defend from bunch Y flex for me and what I like to do, because the bunch is out an additional 3 yards. So, my user can't really bait that throw nearly as much. I'm also, with the way that he's been playing, having to pay attention to a crossing route coming from the bunch side, as well as the in route to the tight end. And you see right there, he hits that in route to the tight end. So again, in terms of the 4 completions that I've given up, what have they been? 2 of those little low ball wheels. And then you also have that tight end route on the dig twice. So right now in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to do to make sure I can play this? Well, first off, we got to get an AI defender in that coverage lane of that low ball wheel. Once we do that, he's going to be looking for the tight end on the crosser. So we'll see if I make some of those adjustments a little bit later on. So here he goes back to that bunch again. And I'm going to be honest, nothing open there. If he's throwing the Texas route, I had a 3-rec hook there. If he's throwing the corner route, I was in match and that would have been picked as well. So he's probably fortunate he didn't throw an interception right there and he got to throw out a sack. 2nd out and 10, staying in the bunch tight end. He's going to go with the play action. He's going to look for that crossing route to the tight end. Again, with the coverage I was in right there, I didn't have a match zone or a zone drop to that area of the field to be able to take that away. But I am paying attention to what I need to do adjustment wise. I've come up against, PA boot over with the tight end post, 100 times. So this is something that we'll make adjustments to. It's just about being in the right check at the right time. And for right now, I'm trying to, come up to speed with what his pace of play is on offense. So again, right here, he's going to go the bunch Y flex, bunch tight end to bunch Y flex. So I have to get my zones in that area. And again, I give up the low ball wheel. So right there, I actually knew what I wanted to be in, but I pressed the wrong button in terms of my audibles. So again, I know what I want to do. I'm just not doing it fast enough. That's kind of the theme of the game really early on anyways, is not necessarily not what I want to do, not knowing what I want to do, but not getting into it fast enough. So right here, I'm thinking inside zone, and he actually throws a low ball seam. So, what is the overall theme through 2 drives? Really, it's the tight end on the post route, and then it's throwing the ball quick in the seam against this match style coverage that I'm trying to run. Now, right there, he was in Trey Y flex, halfback strong, which is 4 guys to a side. So that does not allow me to play match very well against that style of formation. So right there now, I have to worry about the added element of not only in the inside zone, but him throwing to that second receiver, numbering from outside to in, throwing it real quick off the line. That's something that I have to make adjustments to. But all in all, yes, I'm not happy that I've allowed 14, but I also know very, very quickly what this guy's identity is from this point forward. And I think that you'll see that it becomes very, very apparent that my adjustments will start to become better deeper into this ball game as I'm catching on to his pace of play in addition to his play call tendencies. So for those that want to know, I do run the match defense and the 2-4-5 game plan, which you guys can find on gridirongameplans.gg. I do like to bring a little bit of pressure out of this, but he has not put me in a spot where I felt comfortable bringing pressure yet. So for right now, just kind of trying to sponge it up and play it from a coverage-based standpoint. Like I said, I'm just a little bit behind, but I know what I need to do. So here we go. He's back in the double A gap. I get a man coverage read right away here. You can tell by the way that the DBs are lined up, head up on the tight end, down in the box on branch. I know that this is a man coverage read, but he's made some zones out of it. So he's calling a man coverage play and then spot dropping his zones to try to confuse me. Again, kind of an off the wall style of play. You see right there in the previous play, it said cover 1 hole. Definitely was not cover 1 hole. Now you see right here, this is a single high defense with a boundary or a slot player on both sides. So this tells me that's probably a cover 3 style blitz. So again, with this particular look, with him using Dion, I know the left flat is wide open unless he manually guards it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to motion burst across the formation, put him on a flat. So basically I'm going high-low on both sides of the field, but I'm giving myself a middle option. You see right here, I take my left flat. So right now it comes down to, okay, what is his coverage shell? Who is he using? What would that assignment be? And being able to exploit it. Because if he's not out there, that means that his outside third player should be adjusted. And if I see that guy rotate down, then I know that I can take the shot deep over the top to the left. So right now he's really not playing any defense. He's just trying to, pressure me and make me make a bad read. Right here, I go to run a RPO power bubble and didn't really get anything out of it. So 2nd down at 11. But again, trying to get that double dip of the chip. Like I said, we're inside a minute to go here in the first half. I've got ball with ball at half. I'm only down 7 right now. 3 is not necessarily an L here. You'd like to get a touchdown. Right here, bunch nasty. Pitt's going to come in motion. It's going to give kind of a tight look, looking for a drag wheel and a seam. And again, he leaves the flats wide open away from the motion, and Brandon Marshall gets down inside the 5, and I burn a timeout. So here we are, perfect spot, got this opportunity to tie the ball game up, and he's not really going to possess the ball again in the first half with any real chance to score. It's just important that right here with one timeout that I don't take a sack, that I play smart. So again, he comes out double A gap, nickel aligned to the strength. This tells me that he's probably in a base coverage call. I decide to go into something that is a nickel beater. I flip the nickel over to the left side, and I'm able to get the jet to Brandon Marshall. That jet sweep is in for a touchdown. So that's something I scheme up in the X Nasty. If you guys want to know about how it attacks nickel and makes the nickel corner flip and go to the wrong side, you guys can go check it out. It's all in my game plan on Gridiron. Everything that I'm running right now is on the website right now, including AP updates for both sides of the ball, in addition to the other game plans on the website and the vault updates that we do weekly. So always keeping you on top of the meta, and then always keeping you on top of what I'm running, as well as bringing on other game plans on the site like Ragusa, the bunch game plan, the tight slots week, the tight Y off offense that you see running around the community. We have everything on the website for you guys to improve your Madden game and know what others are doing online in terms of the most popular metas and how to counter them. So perfect drive right there. 14-14. I just have to keep the lid on. Don't allow anything dumb right here. And you see that I decide to set some zone drops. So this tells you that I'm bringing a little pressure right here. I don't want him to get outside the pocket. I'm trying to set up some heat right here. And he goes play action, and he ends up throwing a little check down, gets out of bounds. That's okay. He's not in field goal range. So right here, this is Hail Mary territory. So I know right here, all I have to do is make sure I don't get beat deep, but I'm not going to give him time to move with Randall. I'm sorry, not Randall Cunningham, Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to give him time to move and set anything up. He goes to throw that crossing route. I have a zone drop perfectly there. That's Luke on 30 with the blue, and we intercept him. No points for him. 14-14 going into the half. So all in all, we allowed 2 scores, but we scored twice, made sure he didn't get a third score in the first half. We got the ball coming out with the opportunity to turn this game in our favor in a big way. So here we go. He's going to be kicking off here. And really, I'm not going to change too much up right here. I want to continue to make him user the flat. He's been really apprehensive about playing aggressively out there. I've just been peppering both sidelines. He hasn't been willing to blink and move those outside corners down in their zone drop depths or take them out of deep outside thirds. So both flats are open with how aggressive he's been playing. He is just praying for a throw out, a sack, interception. He's praying that he picks the right read. But I'm not uncomfortable at all, like literally at all in this game at this moment. So again, you see that he's kind of different. He moves one of those blitzers back. He brings him from depth. He's trying to blitz everybody in the front, mug a gap with Dion, and bring that guy that he moves. So right here, I go with a little zone weak. I mean, if he's going to move that guy out of that gap, I'm going to run right into it. You saw that I was able to get something right there. Far and away my best rush of the game. Was able to pick up a first down. And we're off and moving. So got to a hash, which is nice. As you guys know, most players, you want to be on a hash because all your lab work goes into short and wide side setups and how zones react and how your route combinations work on the hash mark. So being able to get to a hash is something that all bunch players want to do, even if I'm kind of an off meta bunch player. So right here, I flip my bunch over towards his user, and I'm going to motion away from his user. And right here, he's got Dion down there low, and I'm going to try to, once again, hit a beater, but he brings everybody, and I throw my whip underneath, and I get a pressure and accurate. So again, kind of his style. He's praying for me to get those pressure and accurates. Hopefully one of those errant passes goes to his user. You guys know how it goes. Punishing somebody for actually beating the blitz by throwing at it is one of the most asinine things in the game to me. I'll never understand why the game rewards somebody for blitzing 7 and you throw at it and you throw to open players, you get a dice roll inaccurate. Right here, drop back to pass. And I honestly did not see Dion come out of the weeds. He lurked that absolutely perfectly. I continue to tell you that I was going to take my flats as long as I could until he proved that he was going to guard something. Honestly, just a good lurk. I mean, he was super low and inside on that. Maybe the pass lead elite, that extra velocity. Typically with the velocity comes a little bit lower trajectory, and that allowed him to animate. But, the guy was open. Maybe I throw a different touch on it. Maybe I throw a high ball. Got to do something a little bit better there to keep it out of his reach. Nonetheless, it was a good lurk by him. Really the first good lurk that he's had in this game so far. And you see right here, he's going to go to bunch tight end in motion. And he's looking for a little wheel flat combo. Caught me off guard with that one. That's a good read right there. And you see right now he's 10 to 12, 174. I'm frustrated with myself for sure. Definitely in my own head right now. Like, dang it, you know, this guy hasn't really lurked anything all game, and you let him come out of the weeds right there. Was none too pleased with that at all. You know, it's unfortunate. See right here, I ran a cover 0 blitz. I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat. I think right there, I had JC Horn right there with pick artist and acrobat, and he was like a yard away from that drag that he threw. He had a flat and a drag going to the same spot right there. I'm a little bit surprised that JC Horn didn't get a diving animation on that and lurk that, but nonetheless, Legend goes up 21-14, and all that momentum I had, you know, being able to score right before half, I gave it right back throwing that pick. You know, it's not going to deter me too much, though. If you take a look at the total body of work on offense, I've actually been moving the ball really well. Been very, very patient. The blitz isn't really disturbing me too much. So we just got to kind of stay the course right now. So down by 7. Still plenty of time here in the third. 3 minutes to go. I'm not going to change anything up. You know, this is the offense that I run. I know it well. I handle the pressure well. Got 2 different game plans, in fact, on Gridiron out of the X Nasty. One that is, you know, more predicated on motioning of the receiver and the tight end, and one that actually uses the running back in motion. So we're just going to continue to kind of mix it up here. You see right here, I'm going to go to the running back motion, going to motion him out to the wing. What this does is it puts him in conflict of having to basically worry about now the running back being a potential blocker of the heavy blitz or getting out quick. And you see right here, I go to the flat. I actually had both flats. I probably should have gone over to the left side because it was a little bit more open. I do go short side right there to Pitts, and I'm able to pick up a gain of 6. So staying on schedule, 2nd down and 4. Clock starts to tick a little bit. Really important that I also am managing this from a standpoint of I can't let him clock me, because the truth here is that he's had 3 real drives and he scored 3 touchdowns. Now, one of them I gave him a short field. The other one I dropped an interception, but I still need to give myself time to allow my adjustments to play. Right there, there's the touch that I'm talking about. His user's out there, but he's not close enough. So I throw a little bit of touch on it, put some air under the ball, and arc it into the hands of the flat route for a 1st down. So, you know, it probably looks like a bad read, but it's actually perfect. It's unpickable. It's safe. He doesn't have anybody else out there. We move the chains. So right here, I motion Pitts. This time he's on a blocking assignment. I'm trying to pick up pressure, see if I can go quick. My opponent comes right through the A gap. So right there, that was just he sent more than I had blocking deal. I want to say that was 7 against 6. And we end up with Micah Parsons coming in through the A gap for pressure. So good sack for him right there. Puts me back on 2nd down and 18. But his aggressiveness is also his downfall. I've been very, very aggressive in the flats in this game. So right here, I need to get myself back on schedule. This time I motion Craig out wide. And I'm going to try to, you know, get the ball out, and I throw it to the wheel. So again, like, he's not playing anything in the flats. He's just really kind of trying to guarantee the pressure and hoping I throw over the middle. And I just don't really understand the approach that he's taking, or not necessarily the approach. It's good to start off and do something a little bit off meta, but you got to be willing to adapt at this point. He hasn't shown any ability to really take away what my primary reads. He's making my job really easy outside of one good lurk. Again, whip route. I throw this out to Marshall, make the man miss. I still think Brandon Marshall is one of the best receivers in the game, man. He's so tough after the catch. 6'5", runs well. I don't have any extra theme team boost on him. I think he's 95 speed, and he still dominates for me in my offense. 1st down and 10 here. Again, he's just sticking in this defense. I've made one mistake, and it was a half mistake that got intercepted. So right here, Pitts blocking. Again, look at everybody blitzing. I go out to the flat once again, a little hezzy. Roger Craig catches a chip block right there from Plaxico Burris. I'm able to pick up 1st down, and that's going to take us to the 4th quarter when we get this play selected. So, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking, darn, like, I really botched that drive to open up the 2nd half. I could be in complete control of this game. I feel like I've controlled it, honestly, on really both sides of the ball. You know, he's had some good drives, but really it's just been, I haven't got my adjustments in on the defensive side of the ball. See right here, I'm going something a little bit quick. I've got a hitch, I've got a flat. I'm going to see if he's going to lurk. And right here, my controller locks. So just kind of a pro tip to you guys. If you guys see the quarterback not animate for like 15 seconds at the line of scrimmage, their controller's locked. The game clock stopped right here. And my man accepts the delay of game. Now, Legend's a good dude. I don't have anything wrong with the guy. I think you have to, if you play the game a lot, you know what that is. It's not something I personally would accept unless my opponent were up and the clock was running. You know, I'm not going to give them, you know, a free down in that spot. I've got to, you know, get that because basically the trade-off there was it was able to burn 30 seconds, and he could have burned a timeout if he wanted to in that spot. So right here, I go back to the flat and I do my little hezzy. I'm able to split two guys. Again, talking about like early on, I realized that my stick work was better than his, and I was able to, you know, exploit that. I threw that, was able to slide inside and split two defenders right there. I mean, really, really good ball carrier move. I do this all the time. It's one of my favorite moves in the game. It makes guys miss in the phone booth all the time, and you don't really have to have a good ball carrier ratings or like spin move or anything or juke move to make that move work. It really works with everybody, which is really awesome because it allows me to play more of a physical brand of receiver. And you know, right there, I tie the game. So again, it's all come easy. It's all been out in the flats. He hasn't really changed anything too much out there. His answer has been when I've dotted him to just send more players. And it really hasn't worked out for him, save for one sack and one hit when I was throwing the ball to an open guy. Really, the Dion lurk, I probably throw regardless. It looked open. It was just a good lurk by him. So we're tied. And chat right here was saying, are you going to onside kick? And I was like, nah, man, I trust my system. You go back to his first drive, he tried to throw me a pick. I feel comfortable in the adjustments I need to make. I just need to make them faster against this audible from the bunch tight end to the bunch wide flex. So I think right here, you really start to see me make the adjustments that I told you I've known I needed to make. I just make them more quickly. So right here, what's he start off in? Little bunch tight end. I'm user in like I normally do, waiting for the audible. He goes Trey Y flex. So right here, I'm thinking, okay, inside zone in the quick seam, I've got to take that away. And I audible to the wrong thing. So again, like right here, it's like, dang, man, I know exactly what I need to take away, but you saw I pressed the wrong button, audible to a play that put that guy into a flat rather than a vert hook, and I was unable to stop it. But again, you see right here, you got to be ready for that inside zone. You see I'm lurking on Woodson, and he's able to run the inside zone for the first down. And right here, I'm starting to think, okay, this man is actually really, really going to his milk form of the offense a little bit more. We're going to have to do something about this. So right here, bunch tight end. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can actually afford to give up a chunk yardage play right here. That would be absolutely fine with me. I know that sounds backwards, but I don't want him to really hit midfield with 2 minutes left. I want him to, you know, cross midfield, get down to like around my 30 to allow me to have the timeouts where basically I can guarantee I'm going to get another drive back. Again, we talk about game management. I did a video on this, I think months ago, about managing games on both sides of the ball. And, you know, right here, I'm like, okay, you know, like I'll let him have a crossing route. I'll let him have, like, I'm not going to fight my rear off in this spot to, you know, to stop a chunk play. So right there, he gets his chunk play. It was actually pretty tightly covered, looked pretty good, but he squeezed it and he was able to get out of bounds, which stopped the clock, which was even better for me because that ensures he has to run another play before the 2-minute warning, which is good. That's like a free timeout for me. So basically gives me 5 timeouts. So right here, he's going to go back to that same defense, and I'm going to make the right adjustment this time. I have to have a vert hook on that side. I make the adjustment, and then he goes to throw the crosser, very robotic, and we get an out of reach with Megatron. So that's the worst feeling as a Madden player, to know exactly what you have to call it. They do exactly what you know they're going to do, and you don't get paid out for it. I got an out of reach with a pick artist, 6'5" guy. Perfect matchup in that spot. Really, really, really should have been mine, but I made the right call. That's a really a gut-wrenching result. But nonetheless, right here, he goes back. This time I'm gonna kind of hug that crosser, so it makes him go to the other crosser, and Ed Reed is there and matches it beautifully, and we intercept him. So again, I knew what I needed to do. I just wasn't doing fast enough until the time came where I had to do it or I was gonna lose. So, you know, probably would have been better off, you know, 20 minutes ago in the second quarter, but nonetheless, better late than never. We're now back. We have an interception back, and we just need to be able to get in field goal range to win this game. So in the way he's played defense, you know, the flats have been pretty sweet. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to be able to get out of here and, you know, get right up towards midfield. So we go to work, quick to the flat yet again, hits. We're able to pick up a gain of 5 and get to the 2-minute warning. Also nice because with him being a really heavy blitzer, I didn't want to take a safety. So for him to give me the flats right there and play that aggressively as a blitzing front, that allowed me to get into a spot where a sack isn't going to lose me the game, which is even better. So from a game management situation, not the best call right there by him, just my opinion. So right here, I'm going chunk yardage play. So I don't know what I'm thinking here. I go chunk yardage play. And I'm thinking to myself, let's try to load up. I go with my escape. I throw my corner route, and I didn't get 2 feet in. So that's rough. It's definitely rough. I was looking backside to the hitch right there. I wanted to hit it, but I saw his user bite back, so I went ahead and threw my corner. Maybe that's on me. I just kind of switched my read a little bit too late to be able to get that ball in a good spot to toe tap, but 3rd down and 5 nonetheless. So right here, I'm thinking to myself, all right, let's give us a quick flat to our X receiver Marshall, and I go ahead and I throw a wheel. And honestly, I felt like right there that I was gonna throw a pick. I saw his purple zone kind of hanging out in between the wheel and then the outside wheel. So I went ahead and let it rip. And without a velocity ability, I think that's definitely intercepted, but about as tight a read as I'm going to make in that game. In fact, that throw was less open than the one that I actually threw a pick on. Right here, I go back to the jet sweep, boom, little stop and go. And we're able to cut it up inside and pick up a gain of 6. But you notice right here, the clock's ticking. I really, as I'm looking back on this for the first time, thinking I probably could have upped the tempo a little bit right here. The way that he's played defense against me, it's been really 6 to 9 yards of play. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, 3 plays, I'll be in field goal range. No big deal, right? Right here, I go Roger Craig in motion, looking for a max protect scheme. And I end up getting screamed at. I think I missed a slide protection right there. So he got pressure there, 3rd down and 4. Not super happy with that result right there because for the first time I went to a max protect. I've been quick dotting it, going 5 out, 4 out. You know, just enough of a chip to throw the ball. And right there, I go into a max protect looking for the chunk yardage play, and I don't get it. So that was kind of a heartbreaker. Right here, I go to something a little bit different. This is a deep over the ball hitch with a flat and a wheel. So I'm looking for a wheel flat pattern with that spot route to X over the middle. And again, right here, he leaves the flat open. There's that touch pass that I talked about. So again, I knew what I did wrong on the interception. Let's put a little arc under it. If I throw that bullet, Dion picks it off. And I'm sure that for him, that works against a lot of players where he just holds Y and they throw a bullet right to him. But for me right there, I'm going to learn from that mistake. I'm going to throw the touch under it and get it out for the 1st down. So 44 seconds left here. Still need field goal range. I've got 2 timeouts. Here right now in this spot, I go to double south. Right here, I'm looking for I was looking for a cheap run. Right there, I went to the inside zone. I went to a zone weak earlier on at the start of the 2nd half, and I picked up a 1st down. Right there, I tried the zone weak again. Didn't work. Bad call right there, especially for me not to burn the timeout, because I'm also thinking to myself right here that I don't want him to see the ball again. I really don't. And then he burns a timeout. So he gives me a clock stoppage, gives me time to think. I don't know if I maybe had a perfect motion. Maybe he left something wide open, and I motioned to that side, which told him he couldn't call that. I don't know what, but that's a timeout that was a gift to me, and I've got to make him pay for this. So right here, 2nd down and 13. I'm looking for my corner route, and let's see. I go to throw the ball over the top of the cloud flat. He sheds, hits me, and I fumble. So I have to burn a timeout right there. That's huge because actually that was a wide open dot. That was an absolutely wide open dot. I had the numbers to pick up his blitz. They just shed. So pretty unfortunate right there. That would have gotten me the win. But nonetheless, it's going to be 3rd down and 24. And, you know, obviously right here, I know he's blitzing heavily. I also know that he's probably going to be playing the corner route after seeing his zone drops last game. So right here, I just throw the seam. I throw the seam, get across midfield, and I burn my timeout. Right here, just a pro tip. I should have let 2 more seconds tick off the clock right here, because that would have left me with 8 seconds, 8 or 7 seconds. And the reason I say that is if I take a sack right here and the clock is at 7 seconds, chances are there's only 5 seconds left and he's out of field goal range. If I take a sack right here in this spot with 10 seconds, there's 6 or 5 seconds left, and he's on the cusp of field goal range where a run in a timeout actually can win him the game. So I totally botched that decision. Really, really important, but 4th and 4. And I'm thinking, okay, let's try a little wheel route here. He might like try to trap the throw and I could hit a sideline ball. So I'm looking B all the way right here. And then I change it to a flat, corner combo, which is a bench combo. I go to throw this. I get a terrible animation trying to go out of bounds. He actually turns inside, and I'm unable to get out of bounds. That's really a bad break. So we're headed to overtime. Really, if you take a look at what cost me that last drive, it was the fumble, the heavy blitz, the shed, and the fumble. That cost me the timeout that I could have used right there to kick a field goal. but it's all good. We're going to go to overtime where I end up winning the toss and I elect to receive. So we've got to put a good drive together. And I saw a lot of what he was doing adjustment wise. He, for the first time in the game, from what I could tell, made some changes to what his outside corners were in. If you go back to the sack fumble play, I saw the corner route wide open. So I thought, okay, he's no longer keeping deep thirds out there. He's either playing a flat zone low to trap that throw to the flat like you saw on the pits, or he's going to be playing something a little bit deeper, which is like that 30-yard zone on that sideline. So I had that in the back of my mind here for the first time. I've been throwing flats all game. And really, you know, here I'm trying to load up and hit a big play. So right here, I go down the seam, little quick ball to branch, little spin back to the outside. We're able to get across our own 30 out to the 40, and we're off and going. So good start. Started to show a little bit more of a vertical attack after playing horizontally the entire first 4 quarters of the game, trying to get, a little bit more vertical, a little bit more aggressive with this. Again, right here, I'm going to go back to more of a chip look. This is 6-man protection, and he ends up getting pressure off that left side. And yeah, not ideal. So second down and 10, went with a little man coverage look there. Again, he mixed in a fair amount of cover 1, but he'd been putting guys in zones. He likes showing man and dropping zone, and he likes showing zone and individually manning up. So I've been noticing a fair amount of that. Right here, I go to the single back bunch instead of the bunch X nasty. We're going to go with the little dig return play. I throw the flat. I probably could have thrown the ball to the whip. Probably could have thrown the whip and gotten more out of that. Right there, I'm maybe a little bit flat happy because I've been throwing it out there and out sticking him all game and picking up 6-7 yards after the catch, which has been really, really big. But like I said, I've been noticing that when he likes to call the zone play, he individually mans guys up and vice versa. So right here, third down and 7, I decided to go, I believe this is a 5-out vertical setup. It is. And I haven't thrown the ball up the left seam at all in this game, so I do it real quick. I see the man. He individually made up the tight end, so I threw the low ball, and Pitts was able to fight for the first down. So we're now at midfield and moving and grooving. So right here, this is where I think, okay, I'm going to go back to the call that I had the sack fumble on. I went to it at this spot of the field last time. And we're going to try to load up with a little bit max protect. I motion in Brandon Marshall in the seam. I want to give myself an inside pass lead down the left seam to hold that user. He tries to guarantee his pressure. We pick it up beautifully, and there's that corner out. As I said, he's been putting those outside thirds into clouds. He's been starting to zone drop those a little bit more, so I was able to steal the cheese from him right there. So if I go back and do that over again, I probably pass lead that up and left because I probably could have caught that and racked it for the touchdown, but we're in nonetheless inside the red zone down to the 17-yard line. Go with the toss call. Really, really good blocking. I was just unable to get Trent Williams out there to get that block for me. But we do get we do get 9 yards down inside to the 8. And this is where it starts to get back to that first conversation early in the game. As you recall, when I got down inside the red zone, inside the 10, he went heavy blitz and gave me a 1-play score. So I knew he wasn't going to do that again. He was much more likely to kind of run more of a heavier zone coverage look. So right here, I go back to that jet sweep that worked early for the touchdown with Brandon Marshall. We're able to pick up the first down with Pitts, and we're now down inside the 4. So again, this is kind of where I psych myself out. I think to myself, okay, is the run commit glitch on the table? I've been throwing a lot of interceptions down here lately, and it's been kind of problematic for me. So, right here, I kind of tell myself, let's go ahead and run an RPO here just in case the run commit glitches. So I go ahead and go bunch tight end, power bubble. We go ahead and snap this ball. I did a little bit of motion for window dressing sake, and I end up running the ball, and it's not a run commit glitch. In fact, he did pretty fine right there. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, let's try maybe here to try to dot this. So I'm thinking, okay, what have I had in this game that I've liked? And I think to myself, that dig return looked really, really good last time. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I lied. Right here is where I think to myself, dig return. I think, okay, what did I have earlier in the game? And I go back to that flat throw that I had in overtime where I could have thrown the whip. So I think to myself, let's go ahead and hit dig return. So I'm going to go dig return. And one thing I also haven't done in this play is scrambled. So I think to myself, he's going to see dig return. He's going to play the whip. And as soon as I see him play the whip, I'm going. So really it's whip or scramble is my read right here. And as you can see here, he's user and back on the line. You see him move his user. I flipped my play for a little bit more window dressing just to confuse him. He flips his user. And now I'm watching. As soon as he goes, I go. And I'm up inside for the touchdown. So really, really cerebral drive there in overtime. Played a lot of his own tendencies against him. There's a higher chess match to this game than a lot of people are willing to give credit for. You know, I think that a lot of times people say, oh, you just run the same play over and over and over. But really, it's about, I'm going to call this play until you stop it. And I'm also, if you're stopping it, going to use your tendencies within that play against you. I knew that he wasn't going to give me that whip again twice. So what he did there is he took the in route. He covered the whip, and I had to scramble. So really, really good game to Legend. You know, I enjoyed that. Hopefully we match up again in the near future. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you guys like the commentary style format, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you guys like the offense and the defense, make sure you guys go to Gridiron Game Plans. You can get both of those, as well as 8 other offensive and defensive game plans and weekly vault updates, access to our lab sessions in our Discord. Hopefully I'll see you guys over there in the Discord. If not, we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.